Hopefully this is going live and everyone is ready to discuss tonight's Cozy Mystery Book Club title. It is our final Cozy Mystery Book Club YouTube live stream discussion for 2025. And I get to pull this up one final time. So we're almost done with our little check marks for tonight. We have 2-part Sugar, 1-part Murder by Valerie Burns. And I am so excited. So we have a returning guest hostess and a brand new guest hostess. And I look at their beautiful faces. Also, look at the middle shirt with Jessica. I had to, she totally blew me away. We have Cozy Companions with Marta in the background with all the cat cuteness. And then we have Jessica Fletcher, the queen of cozies, proud right in the middle. She dances. So would you please introduce yourselves for those who might not already know your beautiful, lovely faces? Marta, would you like to kick off?
Sure. Hi, folks. I'm Marta Ferguson. At this point, I'm a longtime member of the book club. It's been since like the end of 2020, and we're at the end of 2025. So I think my 5-year anniversary of the book club. Woohoo! So I am. I'm the author of the Mystic Match Mysteries, which are kind of cozy fantasy mystery. I'm a freelance writer and editor, and I love cozy mysteries. So I'm also currently fostering several cats, and Mama Cat and 2 of the kittens are here in the room with me. So we may have some interesting interruptions.
I was trying to get my little Daisy May. I used her cute little photo on Instagram to say hello and remind everyone about book club day, but she just ditched me because I ran out of treats. So we may or may not get puppy cuteness on my end. So we shall see if she decides she wants to come back, but I ran out of treats. And then Jay, you have been a commenter and a part of the club for a long time yourself. And I was so happy when you said yes to being a guest host. This is your first time, so welcome in the comments. Please welcome and say hello. I have your information. I made a graphic for you too. Of course I did. This woman, I don't know how you find out about these different events. She posted a photo with herself with the supernatural crowd, posting photos about Gilmore Girls. So she definitely knows the coziness in real life. So you are very impressive, by the way. I was like, is there Pilecki over there?
Yeah, so it's so crazy. So obviously, like I don't even know how I found you on like YouTube or Instagram. Like it was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I found this person and I'm going to start watching all of her videos. And I loved it. So it was great. But it's so crazy because like I go to these conventions and my mom is like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And I'm like, okay, well, just come with me or I'm going to go by myself. And she's like, well, you might have to go by yourself. So I've gone to the Psych convention. I've gone to the Supernatural convention. The Salute to Smallville convention. It's just, I was at Motor City Comic Con.
How do you find out about these things? I saw you had a photo with like Dule Hill, and I'm going, oh my god, he's one of my celebrity crushes, y'all. I love this guy. Best from Psych. Like just get lost in those eyes.
Yes, I was when I met him. Like I had a whole like speech prepared. Like I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I love the show and I love you and blah blah blah. And then like he looked me dead in my eyes and he was like, hey, how are you? And I don't know if I even responded. So like he might be out there like, oh, you know, whatever, you know, that's no big deal. This person is just apparently mute. Like I don't know what I said or if I said anything at all. So yeah, but I'll be honest, like I live in St. John's, which is not that far away from Lansing, Michigan. So like we have a convention, like a comic convention here. And then I knew Detroit had one because that's like the next biggest city, obviously, from Lansing. So like I just kind of like I'm a stalker on the internet for the fandoms that I love. So that's how I get to all these places, apparently.
I love how you said Detroit. I'm like, well, you're actually perfectly situated and located for Lake Michigan. I'm like, okay, this is actually your book, your setting. And I love how people are talking about how much they love Dule Hill.
He's so amazing, you guys.
Yes.
So, quick little note. I saw Where Did You Go in the comments. I lost you. Valerie, you won last month's YouTube live stream discussion giveaway. So please send me a message with your mailing address and I will get that information sent to Kensington. So want to make sure I saw your name pop up. I'm going, there she is. I remembered I had a note over here. I always have my little legal pad. So please send me information and congratulations again. So yay. And that actually reminds me that we have a giveaway tonight. Where's the graphic? I always make all my little graphics ahead of time. So let's see if I can move this. So your comments are going to be popping up as an overlay, apparently. Let's see how we do this. I want to make sure you guys can actually see the titles of the books, and then I'll put your comments right back up. So tonight we have 2 books. So one person is going to win 2 cozy mysteries, courtesy of Kensington Cozies. Y'all know I adore them. They are so great. They just are so generous. So Death of a Tom Turkey and Wedding Cake Murder. So 2 paperbacks, 2 cozy mysteries. And what I do is I gather all of your comments, randomly select a winner. And I've been working on this. It will be announced on the December 1st, 12 Days of Cozies, very special email newsletter. So because this is the final live stream, please keep an eye out for that email because otherwise you might not know you won. And clearly there are 2 great books up for grabs. So yay. And let's see. So you both seem to have already mentioned that you enjoy these books. Jay has already read all 4 in the series. Marta was so excited to discuss them. So Jay, what is it you enjoy about 2 Part Sugar, 1 Part Murder, aka our cozy mystery of the month?
Oh, that is such a hard one, but I definitely love Maddy. She is like a hoot and a half. And I am so here for her. I love that, like, when you like read the synopsis, you're like, oh, okay, so she's kind of like a ditz. And like you read it and it's like, okay, like, no, she thinks she's a ditz, but she has a lot more to offer herself. She just unfortunately doesn't have like the most like self-esteem, like, you know, like when it comes to like just being able to like see all the amazing things that she sees in other people and herself. So I like that. Her commentary is hilarious. I love her like little hashtags that she has throughout the book. Like, you know, like hashtag living my best life, hashtag like football players. Like she's just so funny. Like I would love for her to be my friend.
Here it is. I knew exactly which one you were talking about because she literally like she uses hashtags the entire book. And I think the author or the publisher, or the editor, someone was very clever making them bold so they stick out and they read a little differently than the rest of the text. So as soon as you said that, I'm like, I know exactly the reference right there. So Marta, what is it? I mean, you enjoyed this book too, right?
Absolutely. I had actually read the first 2 of the series and got back through the first one. I thought I was going to get back through the second one before tonight, but that did not happen. I really, and I think I've mentioned this earlier in the year this year, it was really fun to read a baking cozy where our sleuther doesn't know what she's doing when it comes to baking. You know, I sort of love that. You know, we learn with her. We are, sorry, we're having a little cat escape. Okay. I think we've resolved it. Cat escape, phone charger drop off. But I loved having this character that we get to kind of follow with because maybe we don't all have great baking skills and it's sort of fun to learn with Maddy. And then I'm jumping ahead a little, but I'm going to say Sheriff April is like my favorite law enforcement officer in a cozy mystery because wow. And we can say more later, but I was totally sold on the whole Scooby Gang, the whole Baker Street Irregulars. But yes, particularly Maddy and Sheriff April.
So I'm going to go back to something Jay said, and this is going to also dovetail with something Marta just touched on. So it made me think of Friends. They did the reunion special, and I love the show, so I'm always, clicking on every time there's an article. And at one point, someone said the character of Rachel Green in the wrong hands would have been so unlikable. And because she's spoiled, she definitely has entitlement issues. And so the way Jennifer Aniston portrayed her made such a difference. And I kept thinking, like, this character in the wrong author hands, it would have been handled so differently because they could have, she really could have easily been an unlikable heroine because the first time we meet her, she's asking about where is first class. She's talking about how expensive her shoes are, and she's definitely out of her element. And you do see a little bit of, oh, wait a second, she wanted to marry him because he's a doctor. And that confession to the priest is hysterical, first of all, but it also gives you insight into her. And the insight, you kind of are like, wait a second, where are we going with this character? And so, again, in the wrong author's hands, it could have gone so differently. So this woman, Valerie Burns, I am giving her an extra star for handling a character and making her multidimensional in a way where you're going, okay, so this really does have layers and dimensions. And I kept thinking of these random movie references, like random things would pop up and I'd be thinking, oh, she's literally new in town, because there's a scene at the airport at the very beginning when she's not dressed properly. We have Legally Blonde about people, judging her appearance, but she's actually very intelligent. And then, of course, we have the baby, the cute, adorable dog who apparently is 250 pounds. And the backstory made me think of Clifford. Like, the aunt loved this dog so much that he just kept growing and growing. So I was having random Clifford flashes. So she was pulling all sorts of things that I already loved into this book, which was making me smile and giving me all the like warm, cozy feels. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And also, I love how both of you lit up when I mentioned baby. Immediately you were like, yes. Oh, yep. So we're gonna have to go with Marta talking about Sheriff April. So what is it you loved about her? People in the comments talk about April, because I also have multiple notes about her. First of all, she ends up moving in, which I love, but she never looked at our sleuth as a suspect, which was so refreshing. And there's a moment when she actually invites our sleuther to go ask questions to the suspect. And I was just blown away going, this never happens in cozies. So I'm kicking it over to you, Marta. And then Jay, you have to tell me what you think about April, because she's just, there's so much to discuss with this one.
I thought April was great. I was on the pageant circuit for about 10 minutes in high school. I have other friends who went much further. So I know that world a little. And when April talked about, how it made her angry the way the, existing sheriff had been running things. And when she realized it was an elected position and she could campaign for it, well, she knew all about how to do that and how to present herself because of pageanting. I thought, what a great way to turn that body of knowledge. What a great way to, just step into something entirely new from that. And I just thought, April is so calm and so level-headed. Like, that's such a fantastic characteristic in law enforcement, in anything, but in law enforcement in particular. So yeah, I do think she and Maddy both undervalue themselves, but I love that April is our, okay, everybody step back and take a breath and let's think logically about this. I thought she was great.
Oh, that's such a great analysis. Jay, you were nodding along like, yes, you're hitting that point. You're hitting that point.
I think one of the biggest things that I dislike about cozy mysteries is when like the law enforcement person is so dumb. Like, there's no other way to sugarcoat it. I just hate a dumb law enforcement person, because it's like sometimes it genuinely doesn't make sense. Maddy just came into town 2 days ago. Yes, she had an argument, but also this entire town hates this man. And like, there are other people that could want him dead. And to just be like, well, your fingerprints were on the murder weapon, so we got to arrest you. Like, let's have a little bit of common sense. Like, just come on now. Like, it's not that big of a stretch to just be like, okay, someone wore gloves. Like, oh, okay. Like, that makes sense. Like, that is literally possible. That is why people like myself watch Forensic Files. You got to kind of know how people get caught if you're going to do a crime. Not that I'm doing a crime, but, if you're going to go down that route, at least be smart about it. Like, she'd be really dumb, especially knowing her fingerprints are in the system from her dad being an admiral. So it's just, I really, really enjoyed that fresh breath of air with April, because she was just on top of it.
So I I interviewed Amanda Flower. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 years ago, but you just reminded me of something she said about the love interest and how it's really useful to have a cop love interest because that's how you get information. That's how you get things with the crime. And I'm going, this was a really interesting way to flip that around so that it's not a love interest, but it's a new best friendship happening. So you're still going to have insights into the crime. You're still going to have access to the evidence and find out what's going on. So that was actually exceedingly clever to make her a new best friend. I'm going, oh, that actually works really well, taking what that advice was and putting that over there. But I mean, I am right there with you. That's my, I have pet peeves with some cozy mysteries. When there's ever the sleuther who's just like the looky-loo and inserting themselves into the investigation. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I love you, Miss Marple, but I don't know how you ended up in this town, why you're talking to these people. Okay, we're just going to go with this and roll with the punches. But she actually had April, the sheriff, knock on her door and enter with food. First of all, she feeds her, which I think is also great. She brings her food for their Baker Street Irregulars. So this mystery solving group came to her and enlisted her to now go help solve this mystery crime, murder, everything that's going on in this town. So the sheriff actually brought the crime to our sleuther and was like, yeah, give me your insights. What do you think? You're smart. You can tell me what's going on. Or you have different insights. So the fact that she was also open versus this is a closed investigation. We can't tell you what's happening, because that hardcore sheriff, I'm going, you live in a small town of like 2,000 people. You know everyone. Why are you doing this? Why are you being so antagonistic? I just love that she was so open to the other people giving her facts, because that seems more realistic and also more helpful. Just throwing that out there. And we just saw someone else just saw your shirt, Miss Jessica Fletcher. Oh, Mandy, you actually suspected April towards the end. Ooh, interesting. Everyone else is in love with April.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this out there. We're not going full on spoilers quite yet, but I loved Leroy, our new head baker. And at one point, our leading lady suspected him. And I was mad on his fictional behalf because I did not want him to be the bad guy. And I was kind of in denial that he could be the bad guy. So, I mean, there's a very small cast of characters. There's only so many different people it possibly could be. So I kind of get why you might suspect April. Because if our leading lady can suspect Leroy, well, I guess anybody can be put under that little microscope. So when it comes to Baby, Jay, favorite moment? People in the comments, favorite moment? Jay, I mean, we have Baby. He stole the show. We have people saying he's the favorite character on Instagram. I always post questions in the stories. And I want to say there was 6 responses and 5 of them were Baby. And the 6th one was Hannah and Baby. So he seems to be, I mean, someone else said he stole the show. I mean, he is on the cover. And again, my little pet peeves of some cozy mysteries, they'll put animals on the cover just because they know we love our animals. And then the animals in 2 scenes and we forget their name. They're not there. Baby's in the entire book. Yes. So we got to talk about the cuteness that is this dog. As I'm like holding up my book, like I actually have a photo of the book cover right over here. And he's on all of the book covers too. I mean, look at that cuteness. The illustrated version of him. Oh, I just want to kiss his little face.
So, I mean, I think like there was no bad moments with Baby. Like, I don't know. I was a kid that grew up on Beethoven and I like was delusional and thought that I was going to have a Saint Bernard when I got older. My foray into owning a dog has not been the greatest track record. So I'll just leave that at that. No pets were harmed, but just, I don't think I'm a dog person because I'm a lazy dog person. So like, I don't want to take my dog out for a walk. I just want you to sit on the couch with me while I read. So the fact that Baby enjoyed napping, that was like, right there. I love that for you. And the fact that Michael, Miss Hannah's grandson, would come and exercise Baby, which makes sense because great aunt Octavia was obviously an older woman. So like, I don't expect her to be, I mean, some grandmas out there, great aunts, they're out there doing the Lord's work, staying active. that's not me or my calling at this point in my life. So, you know, I love baby, like from him drooling, which I know would definitely gross me out, like also raised on monk. So like germs, that is gross.
Mhm.
So I appreciated that she like definitely was like, oh, he's drooling. So after I wiped it up, I, turned on the car and we went about our business because I'm like, that's realistic. All that drool, you're going to clean that up. But baby was just so cute. And like, or I imagine he's cute, he's described as being cute and I've seen.
Well, he's cute on the book covers.
Yes. And he's cute on my nails. I have him on my nails.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so he's just so sweet, and I love that he like protected Maddy and all of his like people, and he was just like, no, these are my people, and he was like ready to go to bat for them. So I love that about him.
I had to go find a photo of the English Mastiff because I feel as if this is a dog breed not everyone is super familiar with. So this is from the American Kennel Club, and I believe it was also as the Wikipedia reference there, the photographer, because I did not realize how big this dog was, and I didn't want to include any other images because, again, infringement, YouTube, I'm very aware of things, but seriously, go Google these dogs because I'm about 5'3.5", and if this dog stood on its hind legs, it would tower over me. So when there's a reference in the book about the neighbor feeding, he's on the hind legs with 100 pounds. I mean, that actually seems accurate based on the Instagram reels I was looking up. Also, I think Instagram now thinks I want to own this dog, so they're putting a lot of that in my feed. I'm pretty sure all the references are coming back, and that algorithm is not your friend. So now apparently I'm just supposed to buy a big dog. So Daisy can ride him like the pony that Maddy originally thinks he is.
That would be so adorable, though. Like, think about all of the Instagram cuteness that we could gain from that. Like, just Daisy Mae just on top of your baby, and
she
just
abandoned me. Where is she? Her babysitter came in looking for her. Like, she's got to be hiding with and putting one of her treats somewhere. She's like, you can't steal this from me now that I have it. But I love that you also know her name is Daisy Mae. Thank you so much. That is so stinking cute. You're like, this is how you know someone is actually paying attention to the things you're saying. Like, that just made me so stinking happy.
It's, that's just my thing.
Yep. I think my favorite part of Baby were the conversations. The baby is the kind of cozy companion who's actually, again, part of the sleuthing circle. Mm-hmm. He listens, he responds, the way that Burns describes his facial expressions is great. Sometimes he's really with her. Okay, Maddy, sure. Other times he's like, no, I don't think so. So I have those conversations. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I talked to Daisy like she's going to respond to me. I mean, they're not. I understand they're kind of rhetorical questions, but I will be flat out asking her questions as if she's going to somehow give me her response. And I swear, in her eyes, she's judging me and telling me what's happening.
For sure, she is.
I totally related. There was one moment when Maddy was in the car and she's going, and baby just totally dismissed me and was going, drive me away, wench. And I'm going, that is what Daisy does to me. Because she'll be like, yeah, you got to go pick this up. Because she'll just decide to stop playing fetch. So all of her toys will be everywhere. She's like, yeah, you go get that. You deal with that. And so I don't know if she has an English Mastiff, but this woman definitely knows dogs. Because everything that was in here, I'm going, yep, I've experienced that. Thank you, people in the comments who are also talking to your animals. I mean, my first little guy, Max, I was literally like narrating my life to him and be like, oh, let's go do the laundry. Let's go do the dishes. I mean, he's never responded, but he would just follow me all the places. People do want to see your nails. They are very curious in the comments.
I'm trying to see, like, what's the best
my goodness. How did you do this? Did you go to was this a nail tech?
My nail tech is like awesome. So I've got baby on this finger, and then obviously a thumbprint cookie, a VHS tape, and then on this hand I've got Maddy, and then I don't know if it's kind of a weird glare, but that is a knife.
Okay, so I was gonna do this later, but you were getting a popper here. Let's see if I can do this. How does this work? Does this work? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll just toss it in the air. I did that wrong, but you get the link for winning. sweet. Like, that is incredible. I mean, I always try and make my nails match, but I was like, okay, let's go for the neutrals because it kind of goes with like the vibe. Nope, you won the nail. You won that tonight. That was amazing.
She never misses. I absolutely love her. I literally brought the book in. I got my nails done yesterday. So I brought the book in and I was like, I'm guest hosting a virtual book club. Can you do this? And she was like, yeah, sure. Okay. Are you cool if I just pick whatever? And I'm like, yeah. And she like asked me about the book. She's like, well, what's one of the favorite recipes? And I was like, oh, the chocolate soul food cake. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. What was the murder weapon? What was this? What was that? And I was like, oh, this, that, and the third. And she was like, who's the killer? And I told her. She's like, okay, cool. Looked up 2 hours later and this was my nails. And I was like, oh my God, look at baby. He's on there. And she's like,
That is, I mean, I'm like all of the confetti, like everything to you. That is amazing. And I love that you're like celebrating cozy mysteries with your nail tech, telling her all about them. That is the cutest thing ever. You just made my whole day. That is awesome. That is dedication to cozy mysteries. I am so impressed. Did you post a photo of that yet?
I was going to say, I think in my stories yesterday, because I literally just got them done yesterday.
You need to like flat out take all the photos. You got to like put them and so you show them off because that is amazing. I am so proud of you. And I'm so excited about that. I'm like, oh, that is such a cool idea.
I should rope in with kids. They like taking my photo of my nails because they think it's so cute. Like every time I get them done, they're like, Mommy, can I take your nails? Can we do your nails? Can I go to your nail appointment? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Get in the car. Let's go, kids. Let's go. Let's go.
That's so cute. Oh, that is so, I mean, I love that so much. I did the pumpkin ones for last month, but I went to a new salon and the lady, she drilled my nails way too far down. So I'm wearing press-ons tonight because they need to heal a little bit. So I'm going, oh, I'm so happy someone had like the fun, awesome nail experience. I'm like, thank you for like having a good one. I'm like, I'm so happy for you. I'm like, and again, I'm like, all the confetti, like, I'm just so excited right now. Like that was like
Angela, I love the popper and the streamers. I've got a kitten over here who's tracking your every movement as you make the streamers go back and forth. She's gonna leap at you here in a minute.
So I thought I was extra with my like cozy pullover, and I was gonna do this later on tonight because it's also a little. We are going full extra right now. Jay's inspired me. We're just gonna, it's early in the night, but it's about to happen. So I made a very special trip to Whole Foods because this is our 11th cozy mystery. So I did the 2 candles, but because if you guys notice the book cover, you can't do this. So we got to put the knife in to match the book cover. So I planned a very odd thing, and Jay's killing it with the nails. So we have the celebratory 11 live streams for the year, and I'm gonna pull this up so you guys don't think I'm just like totally crazy. There is a knife involved with the book cover.
Oh, so, it's right there.
Celebrate. Jay inspired this moment, so thank you, Jay.
No problem.
I mean, of
course, Octavia's chocolate cake.
Yes,
it's some sort of caramel thing. I got it at Whole Foods. Ooh. And I almost feel like this knife is really large for this cake. So maybe I should have either A, gotten a smaller knife or B, gotten a larger cake. So either way, something, I mean, this is also a lot of cake for very few people, but still. Just got to have some fun with the culinary cozy mysteries, right? Totally got off track. Yes, this is what we do, right? So it's the soul, what is it? The soul food or the soul? I wrote it down, but
I think it's soul cake. I think I said soul food cake because that's what stuck out, but I don't think
it says the chocolate soul cake, like you would sell your soul for it. So that's why I was also like, you got to get something that like looks very delectable, very extravagant. So definitely trying to embrace the vibes tonight. Oh, so excited. It's okay. We love the knife cake. Thank you so much. The thought process that I have before these live streams I mean, if I were to ever like go be studied, I don't think they'd let me out. I mean, wanting to do things with knives. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I don't think that they would let me out of my little padded cell either. So it's all good. We could be like padded cellmates together.
We can talk to each other through the vents, right?
Yeah. And we'll meet each other at rec time. It'll be great. It'll be great. We can play ping pong with the ghost and all that fun stuff. Yeah, we'll be great. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Yes, this was actually one of my notes because this book does have recipes.
Mhm.
However, it does not have the one recipe that I think people really wanted. So I'm going to be very honest. I am very much like our leading lady over here, who is not a chef, who is not a baker. So I probably wouldn't be making this chocolate soul food cake, but I understand people who do want to bake these things. So I am very apologetic that it's not in there for you. So yeah, it looks like a lot of people really wanted this in the back of the book.
Yeah. I mean, the apple turnovers sound good. If that's your, apples are your vibe, that's definitely a fall thing. And the thumbprint cookies, those could be good. But yeah, we needed the chocolate soul cake recipe. So, maybe I'll stalk Valerie and I'll explain to her that we need that recipe and she can share it.
So I have a random note. I as I held it up. So I have multiple different iterations here with the notes. So because I listen to the audio and we do the paperback. So I have my legal pad notes and we have like the baby notes over here. So on this one we have $10,000 Mad Money and chocolate soul cake. I was just talking about the aunt. Apparently this is what was going on in my brain. But that woman, so the aunt, we have to talk about this woman. She is not really in the book, but she is so well represented. You understand her as a character. She leaves her entire life to a niece, or great niece, I should say, that she hasn't seen in years, but she wants updates from the father. She gets letters, she gets photos, and then she leaves her she gives the will for 1 year to run the business, take care of her baby. I mean, let's be real. As a dog mom, if I were to entrust you with my baby, that is the biggest compliment and or way of saying I love you than anything else in the world. Leaving you the baby, like the fur one. Oh. So I'm curious what you guys think about the great aunt. And yes, the money in the freezer. I mean, she had $10,000 in the freezer. So this woman, I mean, she's a fictional character, but she is so multidimensional and so entertaining. And the only real dialogue we get from her is one-sided video. So the narration kind of component. So you're nodding, Marta, like, yes, I have thoughts on this.
Well, we've had this question in the past. Like, Octavia is not the murder that we're investigating, but I feel both Octavia's death and her presence throughout the book, and I get, okay, there wouldn't be, the way that Burns has built it, there wouldn't be a story if Octavia hadn't died and left all this to Maddy. And yet at the same time, I keep wanting Octavia not to have died. I keep feeling some need for, and I'm hoping, if I'm remembering the second book, we're gonna start moving into what happened there. Like there's a through line. And I know I see Crystal T. Knits pop up there. I just chatted with her earlier this week. I know she has read the entire series also. So I know that there are more of you out there who have read all 4 that exist so far. And I'm very curious, like, how is that going to unfold over the course of the rest of the books?
So I'm pulling up the images because I make my graphics ahead of time. So we have 2 parts sugar, 1 part murder as book 1. Murder is a piece of cake for book 2. A cup of flour, a pinch of death. Also, I like how all of the titles have that comma and they're very consistent, except for the final one, icing on the murder. So again, I almost feel like this is icing on the cake. Like maybe it is the final book in the series, because as soon as I said that and realized this is the title that's different, it might be the standalone, the end to the series. But I mean, I would be totally game for her to write 5, 6, 7, 8. But anyway, so right now there are 4 books and I love the book covers. I mean, this is also, again, why I did the knife on the cake, because look, it's in the knife. I mean, I really invested in these book covers. But so you've already read all 4. You're rereading. Other people in the comments are invested. This seems like the type of book people want to read the next like part of her story. They want to read what happens next. So that's also kind of a big coup going, yes, you wrote a very, a cozy community and a cozy mystery that we want to join again. So I feel like most of where'd they go? I have the poll going. So I have the different windows. So let's see if I can click on it. So right now, 47% gave this 5 stars, 40% for 4 stars, 10% for 3, and 3% for 1 or 2 stars. So it looks, I mean, when you have 87% of people saying 4 or 5 stars, that's a really high percentage of people saying they enjoyed this book. The reviews on Goodreads are also really complimentary. Again, I always do my research before our live streams, and I read the reviews that were 1 or 2 stars. And it was, again, those like unlikable heroine comments. Some people didn't like the hashtags, but I think if you accept those things as part of the book, you can fall into this pretty easily.
Definitely.
Interesting. And now I have to find how I did that. There we go. Okay. The multiple windows. Trying to be all tech savvy so I can do these things for you. Oh, but I got to minimize it. I don't know if that's blocking your comments. So we're figuring this out. Anywho, I'll leave that poll running. So if you haven't already posted, please do. Oh, okay. Oh, hashtag. That's so cute. Hashtag great book. I mean, Baby is an amazing character, and I love that he gets her trending. So this dog, I mean, he's adorable. I know I see the illustration on the book cover, but I've never actually seen this dog, but I love him, and I can picture what's happening in these photos. So the fact that he's stealing her pizza, he's taking up her bed, it's so hysterical. The comedy in this book. And Marta, we talk about things all the time. Like we mentioned before, we had alluded to something about the, character not being in the book, but wanting more. And we've talked about, this is a murder mystery, right? This is a hard topic. We're dealing with death. And I'm having the best time reading this book. I am laughing. I'm enjoying the random hashtags she's including. And again, this is kind of going back to, I'm laughing, but now we just have a second dead body who might or may not have killed himself, but he might have been murdered, but we're not sure. And we have hashtags and this dog being adorable, and yet I'm smiling. So this is only happening in a cozy mystery. You both nod like, yes, we like the comedy. What did you think about the writing style in general? I mean, it was also fast paced. So you're laughing, you're moving along pretty quickly. So what did you guys think? In the comments, please let us know.
Yeah, oh, what to say?
Favorite book of the year, Funny and Light.
Yay!
Oh, thank you. I know I have one more popper. I'm gonna have to figure out how these work. I should have looked this up before. I thought you had to just pull it.
Ready? She's gonna make it go again. She's gonna make
what do you do? I thought you just pulled them. How is that not what this is? I feel like I should have done a test run. This is label streamer. Like, how is that not what you do? What is that? Anyway.
Don't they usually have like a string?
Yes. Is it broken? Did I get like an effective batch?
Probably.
There we go. Your favorite book of the year. You get a party popper. I will do this for you. I will figure this out at some point. And watch me figure this out at the very end of the live stream. Like, of course.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure they're defective. Anyway, I'm glad you love this book, and you get another party popper just because. Also, I'm going to do this for your kid. So enjoy the party popper streamers. It's the final live stream. It's meant to be a party. So that's why I placed orders on Amazon for party poppers. I went to Whole Foods and specifically got a cake to put a knife in. So we're going all out tonight.
All the cats are looking at me like, what is going on?
I know. This is where, like, if Daisy were here and paying attention, we would just hear this. That was all we would hear. Oh my gosh, people really. So if you guys liked this book, this is really your favorite book. So definitely my top 5 cozy series. Tara, this is Tara, Crystal T Knits. We want to know about your cats, apparently. That's so cute. Rachel's Book Cafe, one of your top reads from this year's too. Oh my gosh, so many people are saying that this is their favorite book. That makes me so stinking happy.
Oh, you guys. Oh.
I feel like we're ending on like the best high note ever. That is just, hey. Oh my gosh, people want to read the next in the series. I mean, you guys are already invested. And so when it comes to these books in particular, I'm always fascinated, like what resonates, like what is it about this book that makes people love it so much? And it must be a combination of you like the heroine, you like the writing style, you like the side characters, and when it comes to the murder, like it was. We've been talking long enough. We can get into some spoilers. The murder made sense. You didn't feel gypped. You could have solved it. And if you didn't, you're going, okay, this is how I missed that clue. So the stars seem to have really aligned for this book. And you were just nodding, Marta, when I said that the murder made sense. You were nodding. You immediately were going, yes, we need to talk about that.
Yep. I think, and I'm thinking also of what you said earlier about like this paradox of these are murder mysteries, but they're funny and we're having a great time hanging out with these people. And
party poppers.
Yeah. And that I think that's just part of the paradox at the heart of a cozy mystery, is that it is cozy, but it is also a murder. But it's a puzzle. It's a how do we figure it out? And in a cozy like this, we're figuring it out with this cast of people that we really, really like and that we're having a lot of fun, kind of hanging out with and sorting through a problem, and the idea behind a cozy, I think, is it's not that we're celebrating the death, even though, we've talked about this, unlikable characters are usually ones who die in cozies. But we're sorting out something that's difficult and we're bringing order. We are making things make sense. We are solving a problem in community. Again, in a lot of cozies, we have, the random obstacles of incompetent law enforcement or a difficult family member or whatnot. And in this cozy, actually, it's, I think, part of what is so lovable here is that she's managed to create a lot of suspense and give us a lot of options for how did this actually happen. But there's not a lot of people we really have to dislike. We get a lot of people we really get to love, even if we are worried about, was it Leroy? Was it April? Was it, yeah, we get to just step into a found family, which is always great.
I was gonna say, because they're the Baker Street. I almost wore my Sherlock Holmes outfit, so I'm gonna stand up for a second and watch Daisy come running in to grab the party poppers. So I don't know if you can see this shirt, but it says it's all the cozy stuff on the back for Thanksgiving. But I almost wore my Sherlock outfit because we had to put on like our little hat. We have to grab a little magnifying glass. I told you I was going all out for tonight. I wasn't kidding. But you have Sherlock Holmes references, which I think is really interesting and kind of fascinating. And also I tip my hat to her because it grounded this in a nice way for people who love mysteries. So this is an atypical sleuther. She's not. We usually encounter sleuthers who are very grounded. I mean, we've had people on farms, they're the readers. And she does mention she reads her murder mysteries because yay us, but she's not necessarily I'm just going to say the introverted character we see, or we're trying to, she grows as a character, and I love that she grows over the course of one book, which is so impressive, but she's not typical in regards to, where's my first class ticket? So I was so happy that she was handled well and people responded well to her. And someone up above, where did it go? Someone said it was utterly unique. Okay, here it is. So Allison, I love all types of cozies, but many are a bit formulaic. And this one seemed totally unique and contemporary in a fun way. And I like the word contemporary because this woman, the reason I was going down this is atypical. She is also kind of semi-famous online, apparently. And the use of hashtags, it was so consistent. And she was taking photos of everything in her life. Everything was documented. So, you're also nodding like this was different for you, Jay. Like, what was it about this book where you're going, yes, this is my 5-star read. Well, this is why everyone's loving it in the comments.
I was going to say, I think it literally, like, in that first, I think it's literally, like, in the print version, it's, like, page 2. and she's talking about how she like almost fell down the steps when she was like getting onto the plane, and she goes, I wasn't a religious person, but I felt confident cussing out a priest would send me straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Even if God wasn't finished torturing me yet, I wasn't prepared to test my luck before getting on a plane in the middle of snow NATO. And I think like this, I did technically reread this for book club, but when I read it the first time, I listened to the audiobook. So obviously it's not like I can like look ahead and skim or anything. So I just was like, oh, this seems interesting. I like Valerie Burns's like other series. I'm sure I'll like this. And it was that first line, I was cracking up laughing. Like I had to pause the audiobook and I was like, okay, this isn't your run of the mill introverted like sleuther, because I'm definitely a little bit more on the introverted side. So like I relate to all those, like, oh, I'm gonna own a hobby farm or something like that, because I had chickens for a little bit. So I can get into that, like those little solo hobbies where you don't really need to interact with anybody. But it's the fact that like it makes sense. Like she's younger, she's kind of lived in a bubble of privilege, being like an admiral's daughter. Like they make money, you know what I mean? Like she's smart, so she's had the best of everything. So it makes sense that she doesn't know how to cook for herself. Like her making eggs and like completely just botching that multiple times. Or like when Leroy's like, oh, like, like I'm coming over to cook, and she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go upstairs. And he's like, what do you mean you're going upstairs? Like, you gotta help me. Like, okay, I didn't. Oh, okay, sure, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, it made sense. She felt authentic. If she's live streaming her wedding, it makes sense that she's going to capture, her almost wedding.
Right.
Like, it makes sense that she would capture, baby doing silly things like eating her pizza, sleeping on the bed, and all of the other things, eating the eggshells up off the ground and things like that. Like, because if she's already taking that step to live stream her life, she's going to keep documenting, especially to rub it in her ex's nose. So everything she did made sense. It did kind of irritate me that she didn't know what a VHS tape was, but I let that go, because I'm like, well, I don't know what it's like to live on a Navy base or in a ship for that matter. So maybe they don't have VHS players. I don't know. I know I grew up with a VHS player, and I think Maddy and me are roughly the same age. Like, I mean, I'm 31. So like, I think she's in her late 20s. So I'm like, my sister knows what a VHS player is, and she's like 3.5 years younger than me. So like, if Maddy is around our age, she should know what one is. But I digress. That was literally the only thing that was like, okay, that's not believable. Everything else is believable, but that's not believable.
That was one of the comments up above. I saw 2 or 3 people saying that was one of their like nitpicky things. And it totally reminded me of The Office during COVID. People obviously were streaming stuff, and they had to look up the iPod Shuffle joke because they didn't know what the iPod Shuffle was. And I'm going, how old am I if you don't know what an iPod was? I mean, I'm going, I had the VHS tapes growing up, and the fact that she would put it in and it kept popping out, I'm going, oh my goodness. I mean, I know I'm using eye creams, but do I need to invest in like a thicker one? What's happening? Do I need to get those little patches put on at night for like the collagen? Am I going to get lines? When she ever had it popping out again, that was when I felt old. That was when I'm going, oh, VHS tape should not be the tech difficulty of this book. Yeah. I mean, she's posting everything. She knows her tech stuff, but she didn't know how to work a VHS. Oh, I felt, I'm like, I need to go, like, I don't have Botox or anything. I've never gotten anything. I'm like, do I need it? She's giving me a complex.
I have a college kid. I don't know that my college kid would know what to do with a VHS tape. So,
I mean,
So there's an episode. I love Elementary. I mean, yes, Sherlock Benedict Cumberbatch, love him, awesome. But Elementary is one of my comfort TV shows. And there's an episode in which he is just still kind of finding his groove with the group at the police station, and the Marcus Bell character, the detective he's working with, they have a VHS, and he's going, now we got to find a VHS. We got to find the thing to play it. He's going, have you never been to my apartment? He's like, I have everything you could ever need. Like, that's Sherlock Holmes for you. And I'm going, you read Sherlock Holmes. Haven't you watched Elementary? Don't you know? I'm making those connections in my head because I'm thinking of Elementary with those references. But anyway, I digress. And people in the comments are talking about the VHS tape. Oh, yes. But it's like the floppy disk for the save feature. Like kids today don't know what the floppy disk is. And I barely know.
Crazy. I had a floppy disk. I probably only used it one time. And I do remember I had to ask my mom, like, what is this? Like, can you show me? And she's like, it's a floppy disk. And like, she showed me, but then it was like, obviously CD-ROMs came out. So like, I'm pretty sure like the knowledge is back in her head for Maddy, but like, because she's had the best and the brightest and like all of the money to access it, I'm sure she was probably that kid that like had a DVD player before everybody else had one. And it was, I don't know, maybe they got cutting edge technology in the Navy. I have no clue.
So I think my kid calls the save icon, I think as a younger child than my college kid is now. I think they called it the little square house.
Oh my god.
Press save on the little square house.
You know what? That is so adorable though. Like the little like the house, the little house. That is so cute.
I mean, honestly, I just
what's the problem? It just
Okay. Lady Gizmo is a point. She may not have known how to use a VHS player, but she was pretty good with a taser and self-defense. So yes, she knew how to work the taser when it mattered. So fair. So even if the technology with the VHS wasn't up to snuff with the rest of her tech skills, she knew how to work the taser, and that came in handy. Also, yes, the Blockbuster references are making me very, very happy. They used to charge you like 50 cents if you didn't rewind it. So yes, that's
yes, that is the Be Kind Rewind. And I have it on a tote when I went to go see the Motor City. Well, when I went to the Motor City Con, I got a photo with Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, and Jamie Kennedy. And I got this tote here. Don't mind my sweatpants, you guys.
While she's doing that, I did want to just say, so going back, oh, that's hysterical.
I just realized that.
That's so cute. So going back to her being a smart sleuther, so I have multiple notes about this. So the police show up at her door, waking her up from she's dead asleep. They knock on her door, and she has the foresight. She thinks about, let me at least call my lawyer so that he can meet me there. So she calls Mr. Russell to go and help her out. I mean, yes, she's not a suspect, but she doesn't know. But she called a lawyer. There's so many times when sleuthers are actual suspects and they're being interrogated. And I just want to reach into the copy, yell at the narrator something of, okay, this is when you stop talking. This is when you ask for assistance. This is when you get your one phone call a lawyer. And she did that before she even had to.
Or they like confess to something like, well, I mean, I did go into such and such's house, but it's because like, no. You need to stop talking.
Like you just admitted to breaking and entering, and now they can get you on that.
What are you doing?
But even then, so with Michael, so we haven't talked about Michael yet. We will have to talk about this particular individual. Yeah. She is at the casino. They're doing some sleuthing with April and Leroy, and she makes a decision of, this is what I'm going to do next tonight. And she gets the text message from her suspect, who we later see, is killed. That's part of the story. We've been talking long enough. We can talk about some of the spoilers. She brings Michael with her. She gets the text message that's very suspicious. Someone she doesn't know very well. She's kind of looking at this guy like, what's going on? What's your story? She brings help. So I just want to say thank you for making this a sleuther. She does end up with the killer alone, but this is when she's still investigating and does not know that this person is the killer. So she's not confronting him as the killer by herself just because she thinks, hey, let me go make sure that I'm right. I mean, that's always my favorite. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So I like that she asked for help. So someone up above mentioned like the sleuthing sidekicks. She had the Baker Street Irregulars, and people are talking about how she didn't go to the casino alone. Let me see if I can click on some of this. So we do have to talk about Michael though. So you were nodding right away, Jay. You're like, yes, Michael. You were nodding.
He's a dreamboat. Like the picture that I have in my mind, I'm like, he's a keeper for sure. And let's I'll spoil it without spoiling it. There's not another love interest in this series. So like that is one good thing. We don't have a love triangle. Sorry if that's the trope that you like, but there is no love triangle, you know. So yeah. So Michael's her boo in future books. So that's, which is great. That's what we want. But he's a dreamboat. It cracked me up when he's like, oh, like I'm a doctor or whatever. And Maddie's like, oh, you're a vet, so not like a real doctor. And he's like, well, I am a doctor. Like, I'm a doctor of veterinary medicine. And she's like, right. It's like, because that's, you know, it's, yeah, he's a vet, which is a very noble career. He is a doctor. But that would have been my first thought too. Like, oh, so you're like an animal doctor, not a people doctor.
But
like,
he saved baby, so he gets all of the props. I mean, I think it was hysterical. I don't know if we were going for irony, a juxtaposition. I'm not really sure why she went from the doctor to another doctor saying, I'm done with doctors. I'm done with them. She's like, okay, we can still have him be a doctor, but make him a vet doctor. So it's a different type. It's not like she went from a cardiothoracic surgeon to like a trauma surgeon. Like, no, we're going totally different fields. So I kind of like that he's a doctor, but he is a different type. And as someone earning a PhD, Marta has the PhD. It's not like, oh, that's the different type of doctor. I like that it was still a medical doctor. I don't know why. But so I'm going to see if someone has this up here. Oh, that's actually a good reference. Derek Morgan from Criminal Minds. Ashley, that's a great one. I was thinking of that too earlier.
Yeah,
like if this
we love Shamar Moore. We love Shamar Moore. That is a yeah.
So going back to the love triangle that you mentioned that we don't have. So we'll get into spoilers with this, but so Bradley is our potential like love interest for a potential love triangle. And right from the get-go, I don't think we were really supposed to see it as a love triangle because Baby is the good judge of character. And if Baby, the best character in the book, does not like you, does not approve, and is going to actually threaten to bite your face off, I don't think you're going to end up with this sleuther. Like, I just wrote him off from the very beginning.
Yeah, so did I. Because, like, I mean, like, again, avoiding, you know, spoilers, like, he just kind of seemed like, oh, he's just trying to schmooze her to get, like, you know, the property. Like, oh, okay, whatever. Everybody wants this property. So it makes sense that he's trying to, like, oh, yeah, let me take you out to a French dinner, you know, and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, guy, like, you know, look at her shoes. She's wearing Louboutins. Like, a little French restaurant is not going to impress her in New Bison, Michigan. Like, okay, like, calm down, sir. But yeah, like, you kind of got those vibes, like ick vibes from him, but like you didn't know how icky he was. So yeah.
And I like that from the beginning, you know, as she hears Bradley talk, she's recognizing he's really a snob. I've said things like that. He and I have some of these things in common, and oh, that's really kind of an ugly color, you know? Do I want to do that? Do I want to keep doing that? You know, she's coming to some self-knowledge and some self-reflection by having him there, which is kind of a neat trick as a writer that, you know, Burns has given her some personal growth in there through this character that's, you know, we initially think is just kind of going to be there and be sort of skeezy and then go away. And of course, I'll let somebody else explain what he's actually doing in the book.
Well, when we get into this character, I mean, I like the way you're talking about the mirror image where she's going, ooh, this is something that's actually, I don't like that. The way you're talking about this French restaurant. And I've had those thoughts, but this is again, where we get to see her grow as a character, but also there was a little moment, and again, this was not a throwaway line, but something so simple where he ordered for her and she goes, I usually wouldn't mind, but this time I really did. And that is one of my biggest, again, pet peeves in real life. I can order my own food. Thank you very much. I can read the menu. I'm capable of that. Also, like if I want to order salmon, like I'm going to say I want it well done. Thank you. I can handle myself. So I didn't like that he ordered for her, but I then liked that she didn't appreciate that. And she's like, I can do this myself and I'll do it in French. So like, she didn't just say no, like she upped the ante with her very appropriate French accent and everything, saying she nailed it. So I was like, thank you, Maddy. Like, we're growing as a character and we're like showing him up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, we also have to talk about the Admiral. So the dad, this character, I mean, I'm curious what's going to happen in future books with him. Someone up above before mentioned like a potential showdown. So also Maddy growing, wanting to call the father, wanting to go home, needing his approval. That was the biggest one. She no longer felt like she needed his approval. She hung up the phone on him.
Yes.
What? Dangerous woman. I mean, he's the admirable, like he is the one in charge. She's always looking up at him kind of like in awe. He's the one who's leading the men and he's doing all these things. And so the fact that she hung up on him, I'm going, she's got some confidence going now. Snap. I like the way you wrote that.
So, and I like that she and April reinforce that in each other. She's helping April be more confident. April's helping Maddy be more confident. Because I think we sort of touched on early on, Jay, I think you're either or both of you said they don't seem to have the confidence in all of the amazing things that they are and can do. And I think they're providing that for each other. It's just, fabulous sleuthing duo.
Yes. We love women supporting women.
Absolutely.
Well, that was actually even in the book, right? Where they were almost kind of going to shame Candy. Is it Candy or Caddy? It's Candy, I'm pretty sure. How she's working the casino and they have to dress a little provocatively. And all of a sudden, they, I believe it was Hannah, the older character who has dementia, which also we haven't talked about. She mentions the scantily clad outfits. And then I think it's April who goes, no, Miss Octavia wouldn't like it if we were shaming her. No, we're going to support her. She needs to have an income. And I'm going, that was very refreshing. Thank you. I was not expecting that.
Yes. A job is a job. Yes. Get the money. Like that's, it's, yeah.
I'm liking how you guys are putting the hashtags in your comments. That's amazing. That's on point too. But because of that reference, we haven't talked about Hannah, and someone up above mentioned Michael caring for her, which is also very sweet, and also how we know he's a keeper and a good guy. I mean, he's the vet. He loves animals. You have to love a guy who loves animals. As my dog comes to say hi, where are your treats? Let's see if I can bribe you to come over and say hi to people. But yeah, what do we think about Hannah and how she's working and how the author handled this? Because again, this was a very enjoyable book, and yet that is a very heavy topic. Dementia is something that's difficult for family, friends, the person going through it. But I thought it was handled with a nice tact, as great. Let's see. You're nodding, Marta, like you have thoughts on this.
I have thoughts. I feel like it was, I thought they were really good, that everybody just understood this was part of working with Hannah. This was something that might happen. Nobody got freaked out by it. Everybody, they seem to have a plan in place. Okay, so she needs to go lay down. Okay, so that's, we just know that's what we do, and maybe we need to call Michael to come get her. I thought it was well handled.
Yeah, so did I. I was going to say my great-grandmother had Alzheimer's, so that it felt realistic in the sense that, like, okay, instead of like making a big production about it, we're going to just treat her like a human, because that's all they want. I mean, they're still a human. Like, they've got their lapses, but like at the end of the day, that is still a woman that deserves respect. Like, she doesn't need to be coddled. Let's, Miss Hannah, why don't we let why don't we take a rest? Why don't we go upstairs? Instead of being like, oh, well, we got to do, like, being all frantic. So I did enjoy how they portrayed that, because it is a heavier topic. Nobody wants to go through episodes like that where they don't know where they are, or they're forgetting their loved ones or anything like that. And I know it's hard as a caregiver to see that, but allowing her to like not become like a shell of herself where it's like, oh, well, because you have these momentary lapses of, you know, memory loss, you just need to go be in a home, or you need to stay at home and not do anything. You don't leave the house because we don't want you to get lost and have to track you down. Like, she enjoys baking, so let her continue to bake with her best friend. Great Aunt Octavia was her best friend. They were like sisters. So she should spend time with people she loves and who she's having a good time with.
I'm nodding to everything, and I'm loving the comments because I do think it was handled so well. And I'm nodding with what you just said, because what I think I loved and appreciated the most was that they did not live in fear of the next episode. It came, they dealt with it, and they moved on. It wasn't a matter of watching her and making her uncomfortable and exacerbating the issue, or, you know, kind of making it more of a problem. Like, yes, it's going to be a part of her life, but you're not looking at her every single moment, making her uncomfortable, getting things to, you know, escalate in a way that could be more negative to her mental health. So I appreciated the fact that the word here I saw was support. I thought that was the perfect way of phrasing it, because they supported her in her life. Like, you can be a person, you can go do your baking. We're just going to keep an eye on you for when this may or may not happen. And if it happens, we have a plan in place. And someone up above mentioned, like, letting her keep her dignity. And this is the other thing too, right? Like, this was not her only character trait or personality or issue. Like, she was so much more than that. And I love the way she was portrayed as so sassy. And she did have some great one-liners, and we are going to have to talk about that Uber one in a second. But she also, Maddy was thinking, oh, she's going to be mad at me because I put Michael in jeopardy. And she goes, oh, he'd actually be really good husband material for you. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, she was so much more than this. And I love that she was this multidimensional character, and we got to see her as that way and experience her that and have fun with her. Like the line of Uber, like, you were not thinking, oh, this character, I have to worry about her. You're just laughing because she thinks Uber is a person and not a company. That was one of my favorite things. And I actually took a screenshot and sent it to my mom because I thought it was so funny.
Yep. I was actually reminded, I meant to look it up. I just looked it up now. We read Caitlin Dunnett's Crime and Punctuation, I think was the first of that series. And in that one, the sleuther's bestie is somebody who has, I think, severe arthritis or mobility issues. And I have always remembered that as a really great representation of someone who lives with those kinds of issues and who uses a variety of mobility aids. Like, maybe one day she's able to be up and standing and cooking. Maybe the next day, if she's overdone it, she's got to be in the wheelchair, you know. Yeah, that's also a very real representation of someone who's living with a chronic medical issue.
Yeah.
I love how everyone is just this Uber line, and it actually came back around. So we had her saying Uber dropped her off, but then when Michael was discharged from the hospital, she and his friend Uber was going to pick him up. So this joke actually came around twice, and both times I was laughing. And actually the second time, I think I was laughing harder because she still thought Uber was a person. So you'd think it would be trite the second time around. No, it hit harder, at least for me. Yes, thank you. You knew the exact line I was referring to. Same wavelength.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. If there is something, everyone here joining us tonight, if there is something you want us to talk about, touch on, please let us know in the comments, because again, you read this book. If you have a certain character, scene, line of dialogue you want to talk about, let us know. Also, that counts as your giveaway entry. And I do love reading your comments. I feel as if I say this probably every other live stream. If I haven't seen your comment and shouted it out, I apologize, but I will be reading them pulling them for the giveaway entry. So I will see them and read them all later, but I do love reading your comments. They make me so happy. And thank you for commenting and participating. You guys are the best. It really is. I mean, oh yeah, the murderer's demise. So who wants to talk about this? Marta, Jay, who wants to do the big reveal? We're officially hitting spoiler territory.
Okay.
Jay's smiling.
I'll say it. Brad was the killer, you guys, but not in the traditional sense, in terms of he was not the one that killed Mayor Rivers. I think that was his last name. Yeah. But he was orchestrating that murder. So I thought that was interesting, because like it would have been it would have made sense. Like, oh, he killed the mayor to frame Maddy, and then once Maddy goes to jail, then he could swoop in and take the property and run off into the sunset in his, fancy car or whatever with Italian leather. But he knew that Garrett Kelly was, sweet on great Aunt Octavia. So he got into Garrett's ear and was like, the mayor is the one that killed great Aunt Octavia. It wasn't a slip and fall. So then Garrett snapped and killed the mayor. And well, Brad killed Garrett. So it was, he did kill the mayor, but not by his own hand. So that, I thought that was cool. Because obviously this was a reread, and I'll be honest, like, I didn't remember who the murderer was. So I know at least it was good. I read it when it first came out. So I was like, oh, who is the murderer? And I'm reading it. So it was like a big major reveal, just like everybody else. I was like, oh, wow. I don't remember that part. But yeah, so that, yeah,
I promised a Daisy moment. We have it now. I bribed her with treats. You get to enjoy the little fluffernutter for a minute. So I was curious because someone in the comments is asking this too. He at first did not take, I was going to say, credit for killing Octavia. I mean, let's be real. He's already going to get 2 life sentences. A third wouldn't really be, he's already sentenced to life with 2 killings. But then he ends up dead, and someone else mentioned that was kind of a throwaway line. So is Octavia's murder just sort of clustered in with it? Is this more of a mystery? I mean, that is kind of like, do we pull on this thread? Do I want to ask? Do I not want to ask? So I do think like that is something that I'm going to be keeping an eye out for book 2, because this was one of those books where I knew it was going to be a book club pick at some point because it kept getting recommended, and because so many people had already expressed interest, I just kept putting aside going, it's going to be a book club. I'll read it when it's a book club. Now I'm wishing I had already read all of them because they're so awesome. I'm like so invested in this book. So I am curious. I'm going to have to keep an eye out like what's going on with Octavia's backstory. And Jay's like, I know, but I don't want to say. Spoiler alert. And yes, Daisy was very cute. She just ran away with her treat, though. So we are now Daisy free for at least the next couple minutes.
But yeah, that exploring Octavia's death and exploring, was there a traitor in Octavia's camp? Like who, because I don't think we really get that solved either. We get that, like I said, I know I read the second book when it came out, and I sort of remember the second book, but I sort of remember she ducked some of those issues in the second book, like they're there, but they're not in the foreground. And yeah. So I gotta reread that one now too.
This is also kind of interesting. And again, like, where's my Sherlock hat? I mean, like, I'll tip my my actual hat instead of just like my, metaphysical or my metaphorical, my tipping my cap to her, because she wrapped up the book so that we have our nice kind of episodic storyline, but we do have the overarching of but at the same time I can close this book and still feel satisfied, and having me feel satisfied while still having like a little like niggle of doubt in the back of my mind, that's not easy to do, because usually I'm going, how could you do that to me? I need to know. Or I'm going, okay, now I got to pick up the next book because this is bugging me. So she made it so I'm okay though. I'm going, yes, I'm going to read book 2, but it's not because I'm going, I need my information. It's just because I want to read book 2. So I like how people are like, you're so cute. Oh, Leroy. Yes. I mean, I got to worry about Leroy. We have a secondary romance with him. Is he going to end up with the sheriff? I do have lingering questions. Yes. And I did think of Regina. I saw Regina's joining. So Regina, the Southern Fashionista, she's a fashion person. So I did think of her with this book, because we've had fashionable sleuthers before. Rose Presley, the vintage, which is very different though. Vintage fashion versus modern. I mean, we had Louis Vuitton references. We had Jimmy Choo's. So again, very different sleuther. Also, I'm going to pull it up again. This is why I was thinking Elle Woods. And where is that image? Yes.
Yep.
Elle Woods. And also Clifford, just for, good measure. Just throw that in there. Aw, you like Leroy's crush on the sheriff. And then you wonder if there are more videotapes from Octavia. That's a good question. Oh, and the money. Yes, $10,000. What is she going to do with $10,000? She has mad money she gets to go spend. So there are lingering questions.
Limit on books.
I'm gonna go buy more special editions of Sherlock Holmes. That's what
probably go to some conventions. That's what I would spend it on. You know, nothing serious for sure. Like, who needs a bed to sleep in? You know.
I love how I just have this random note. This is again when I was first reading. So the baby notes are from the first read. So there's a page here literally just dedicated to she took a selfie with the priest and then she posted it. And the priest, I'm sorry for your loss, and said his condolences. And she goes, for what? And he's going, your deceased aunt? Like, what? The priest interaction, if he comes back in book 2 or 3, or I mean, spoiler alert, if you see book 4, like maybe he's the one in charge of a certain, you know, event. I would love this guy to come back at some point. Like, I just really want the priest. And he had one scene, and I loved it. Marta's laughing. She's like, I get this.
I am. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just felt like, you know, we've had so much fun with Valerie Burns, and we're all speculating about, are there going to be more? We don't know if there are going to be more. I did want to point out, Valerie Burns is writing another series for another publisher right now as Callie E. Benjamin.
She's also VM Burns.
Right. She's yep. Okay. There you go. And
this book is good too. I haven't read the second one, but the first book was good.
Yep. I love how everyone wants the priest back. I'm going, yes.
So as much as I would love her to continue, and she is still continuing. She's still continuing as VM Burns with the mystery bookstore series. She's had about one a year out with that one. So yeah, she's juggling a lot. There you go.
I was like, it's right up there, but I have a snowflake in front of it, so it's gonna be very difficult to pull it out.
Yep.
Again, I went with the backdrop, trying to embrace the winter vibes. I'm going all out for you guys. I really am. It's up there. The Plot is Murder. That was one of our. It was probably our first or second year of book club. So that was one of the very first ones that I think we read and I loved. I think that's actually still on my website. It was one of like my most recommended cozy mysteries.
Oh yeah.
I just love that book. I love that whole series. I think she's doing a conversation. You guys can look it up. I don't know if it's already happened, but I know she's doing a live stream or she's doing some sort of event with Ellen Byron. So I don't know how often she does these things, but I'm kind of curious and I'm going to look into that myself.
I went to one of hers like during lockdown. She did a terrific sort of author chat with her dogs. She had her dogs with her. She has 2 dogs who are very much like the dogs from the mystery bookstore series. The 2 kind of miniature poodles. Who I think are Snickers and Oreo in that series. Yeah. So I don't know if those are still the dogs. It's been 5 years. You know, you don't know if those are the same cozy companions she still has. But it was really fun to hear her talk about her books, and it was really fun to see her interact with her dogs as part of the event. So
that's so cute though. I love it when you have like a sort of celebrity that you're invested in and then you get to see them as a real person. You're going, oh, I feel like I just learned something so special about you. Like behind the scenes outtakes. She has the same dogs. I love that you know that right off the top of your head. Callie's last name. I don't know.
Benjamin.
I like that you guys know that. I'm going, where are my notes? There's so many different things down here. But Snickers and Oreo. It is really cute. I mean, I'm going to have to look up her bio to make sure I'm not missing out on any of her other like potential cozy mystery reads. And now you got me thinking, going, I don't know if any of them were on the 2026 voting form, but you just reminded me, so I'm going to pull that up. So the email newsletter came out a little bit later this month. Originally I said it was the first week of the month. Now I'm just saying once a month because I did Crime Bake, and then I did a North Bennett School workshop. Like I was really busy at the very beginning of November, and a lot of stuff is going on behind the scenes for 12 Days of Cozies. So in the email newsletter, I mentioned that currently the voting for the 2026 TBR is going on, and that I was going to be closing the voting this Thursday at midnight. So if you have not voted, I'm going to pull up. So where is it? So here's the QR code up top. It's in the email newsletter. I've shared this across platforms. Hopefully you can easily find the voting form and get your votes in, because some of those votes are so close. There are a few polls where I'm going, okay, I can see this one's going to win. And I'm surprised by some of the ones that have pulled ahead thus far. There was one book that has been recommended once a year. Someone will recommend it, and I include it in the poll, and it didn't really get too many votes the last couple of years. All of a sudden this year, it's got, I want to say 50-something% of the vote, and then you see these other little slivers. So there's one book where I'm going, oh, you really like made a comeback. Like, I'm proud of you. So there are a couple books that I already kind of know might pull ahead and win, but there's some of them where it's literally a decimal point or a single vote difference. So it's entertaining to watch on my end. And I only ever tell you guys the winning votes because I never want a book that only got like 2 or 3 votes to feel badly like whoever recommended it, if it's the author. So I will just tell you the winning titles. But if your book doesn't win, please don't fret. It might come back for 2027, which is an insane thing to say because we're still 2025. But anywho, so I'm going, I don't know if I have any VM Burns currently on that list, but if there's another book series, again, first in the series, multiple mediums, maybe it will be on a future list. There's the QR code again. And I was very proud of this particular graphic. I worked really hard on getting the gold coloring right. So just thought I'd throw that up there again. But these two, I know they probably already voted. So they've got it all taken.
I did. Yeah. As soon as you like sent out the list, I was like, okay. And I was going down, I was voting, and I was like, okay, would it be cheating if I vote a second time?
I mean, I'm not going to begrudge you. So I think I only mention this like every so often because I actually personally don't vote because I don't want to sway. I also don't tell you guys what I'm rooting for. I mean, yes, behind the scenes, there's some books I'm like, please win. But I'm not just going to, there's one book that every year I'm kind of like, oh, is this going to pull ahead? And it hasn't. Eventually I'm going to say, this is the one I've been wanting. So we'll get there at some point, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what year, if it's 2026, 2027, we'll find out. But I don't vote. So if you ever need, like, if you have technical issues, I can always cast your votes for you. So if you ever wanted to vote a second time, I'd be like, okay, you can take my ballot. Like, but I'd only let one person. You'd have to come to me very quickly, though. Also, I'm not actually, like, I'm not gonna, what am I gonna do to hold it against you? How am I gonna be mad at you? I mean, if you really love Cozy Mysteries that much and you're gonna, like, go make a second email address, I mean, I'm almost gonna be proud of you. Like,
don't do it. You won't get it. You don't know.
But I will say, I think the emails, in order to vote, it is a Google form, so you have to have your an email to vote, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, again, that's how they try and make it just do the once, but I'm not going through the emails begrudging. I'm not judging. I'm also not, you can actually go in and see who voted for what. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to invade your privacy. I mean, it's not going to happen. I promise. Oh, you want more than one book to win?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. There's one book that there are a couple books where I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed this. I think people will enjoy it. So there's a couple books that where I'm going, I think that this will hit well. Again, the cozy companions, the puns, the fun. So some of them I'm waiting to see. Yes. So the goal, it's good to have goals. So I'm going to close the voting for Thursday, hopefully, unless there's a tie, in which case there might be a vote off, or I might make a new poll. Because again, I want to say there's, obviously, it's a 12-month calendar. So of the 12 months, I want to say 3 or 4 months are just like this. So hopefully there are no ties, but if there is, we'll figure that out and go on from there. So what I will do is I will have the 2026 winning titles for the December 1st 12 Days of Cozy's email. I have a goal. I'm going to stick to it. I will get it done. I will make those graphics. I will have all of those links ready to share. I promise. I'm working on it.
Angela, you are amazing. Everything you do for this book club, you are absolutely amazing.
You need to teach like a master class because I'm trying to be on this level because yeah, like this is actually like it needs to be studied. You need to teach it. It's like when I tell people I'm in this like virtual book club, they're like, oh, okay, like so just like randos get online. And I'm like, no, it's a whole production, baby. Like go check out the past streams. Like it's not like we're just gonna all stare at the camera and be like, I enjoyed it. Yes, me too. Okay, see you next month, guys. I'm like, no, we get into it. Like we've got comments, there's giveaways, like it's everything that you could want from a book club. So
you're gonna make me cry. Actually, you are making me cry. You're gonna make me have raccoon eyes with the eyeliner. Oh, thank you. I mean, I very much I always show you guys the finished product so you don't see what's going on behind the scenes. I've been working so hard on 12 Days of Cozies. There were 2 nights where I literally couldn't sleep because I was doing the to-do list in my brain. So I'm really pulling out the stops. I'm working so hard. I know Marta's like, that's not good, but I'm like, I want to do a good job for you guys.
We worry.
She's literally in my brain right now.
Well.
I'm so glad you enjoy it. All the hard work makes it feel like it's worth it. I mean, you put these things out in the universe and you don't know. You're like, I hope people enjoy. So hearing and having this feedback means a lot. So thank you. Because it's, you just hope for the best, like people will enjoy. And again, these everything takes time. So I'm glad you guys like the stuff that I work on. So thank you. As I get emotional. I'm like, where's the dog? I need to hug her as my like emotional support animal. Oh, thank you. I'm hoping you guys enjoy the 2026 titles. That actually reminds me again. So please vote. But so I can't believe I get to do this. I'm like, this is just so bizarre. I get to do the final check mark. That's so bizarre and so strange. So we have, let's see if we can do this. So we have the final check mark, but then we have the buddy read for December because the holiday season, I mean, it's a crazy time. Everyone's traveling, everyone has commitments. So this is the last live stream for 2025. But December is the buddy read month. So what I'll do is I'll post all sorts of comments and things across platforms. So wherever you're celebrating Cozy Mysteries, there will be something there for you to discuss this book. And Christina Romrell, who's the author of the December Buddy Read, is actually going to be ending 12 Days of Cozies. So I actually have 2 authors doing a chat on December 12th. So she's doing a chat with Sarah E. Burr at 6:30 on Instagram. And then at 8 o'clock, Victoria Gilbert. She's also one of our former Cozy Mystery Book Club title authors. She's doing a chat at 8 o'clock. So I thought that was really great, though, that, as the buddy read, the author, also, like, you guys can hopefully have had some time to read the book by the time you get to chat with her. So there's a thought process there. So there's a lot going on. Oh my God, thank you. I'm so glad you love the book club. Oh, thank you. You guys just made me so happy. Like, talk about going out on a high note. I mean, I put a knife in a cake for you guys. Like, I'm going all out. Jay got her nails done. Marta's bringing all the cat coziness because, again, this is a dog cozy. She's like, we got to represent the cat. So everything is happening here tonight. Oh, I know they did such a good job. I'm going to pull up their information again. It's in the description box. So if you are not already following these 2 lovely women, please do. I believe these are all their Instagram information, but both of them have additional links that you can click on so you can follow them across platforms. I mean, seriously, if you were not following them, please do. Clearly, I think the world of them. And I'm so appreciative that they took time out of their days to discuss Cozy Mysteries with me and with the rest of you. Thank you for doing that. Oh, yay! People are following you. That makes me so happy. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet. And if there is any final thoughts, please post them now. If you have any questions about either what's happening for December before we, say goodnight. But so far, I mean, I think I touched on them throughout the evening with we have the giveaway going on. Please sign up for the email newsletter because that's going to have everything for 12 Days of Cozies, the big reveal with the 2026 titles. And the reason I say that especially is because Instagram is always fun. And I love Instagram. It's great. But they changed their algorithm again. And they're now doing 3 hashtags instead of the 30. So that's their new thing. And if you're relying on a post on Instagram to give you the information, I mean, you can hope that the algorithm will work for you. It might not. It might. I don't know. Maybe Instagram is your best friend and it totally understands you want all the Cozy Mysteries. But in case it doesn't, the email newsletter will have everything as a backup. So if you ever need to look up something, it will be there. That's why they're so long and they take me many hours to put together. So hopefully you enjoy them. But basically all the information is going to be there. And I just want to make sure I highlight that because, again, I get the questions of, oh, I missed this post or I didn't see that. So I try and have everything there in like one specific location. So just wanted to flag that because when they ever said they're doing 3, I'm going, you've got to be kidding me. Because I do the hashtag the Cozy Mystery Book Club. I got hashtag Cozy Mystery Club. I'm going, now I'm just down to 1. Do I do hashtag cozy vibes, sleuther? What am I doing? So Instagram, we'll figure you out. We'll get there. But anywho, seriously, these 2 ladies, giving them all the shout outs. If you guys have anything else you want to add, please say say whatever you need to the book club about the book. Marta, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to add?
Well, I love that I've gotten to co-host twice this year. As it happens, I co-hosted for Bayou Book Thief, the first of Ellen Byron's vintage cookbook mysteries. The fourth one of that series. I have all these little sort of alerts for Kindle ebooks. So Crescent City Christmas Chaos, the fourth of that Ellen Byron series, is $4 on Kindle today if you want a really fun Christmas read, if you enjoyed that series. So and Ellen was so generous and came and talked to us like the week after we had done the book club. So I was super excited to see that come up for $4 this morning. I was like, oh, sold.
I'm pulling it up because I want to make sure I get the right date. So all of the links for everything 12 Days of Cozies is in the description box. But I love that you mentioned her because she's one of our 12 Days of Cozies participating authors. She's doing an Instagram live on December 9th. So December 9th from 8 to 9, Ellen is going to be live on Instagram doing her. I mean, I'll include all the links to her Instagram as well. But if you liked Ellen, also, you just reminded me again, because she is the author of our book. I reached out to a lot of the authors who've done previous Cozy Mystery Book Club titles. And I actually have never interviewed or spoken to any of these three women, but I kind of like did a cold call email like, hey, we really enjoyed your books. I'd love to feature you and do something. So December 1st, we're kicking off 12 Days of Cozies with a sort of bonus live stream. So these are three of the books from this year, three of the authors. So if you have any questions about their writing, next in the series, what's going on. So we have Diane Freeman, we have Karen McInnery, and we have Olivia Matthews, aka Patricia Sargent. So we have three awesome Cozy Mystery authors who we've all read. So I know you guys have questions, comments, queries, conundrums, things you can ask about them.
So fun. I mean, it's always fun, but it's always nice when like there's an author that you really enjoy and then they're gonna actually participate with, us common folk. Because sometimes, authors and they're, like, oh no, I want to do that. It's like, oh no, only things for Kensington, dear. Like, okay. Like, but what about me? What about my book club? Like, come on.
I've had so many different experiences, and it's so funny that you say that because I reread my messages to all three of them multiple times before I hit send. And I always have that moment of like, they might just say no and blow it off, or we'll go to spam. I'll never hear from them. All three of them messaged me back so quickly. And they all said yes right away. They were so kind, so positive, so receptive. I was blown away, and I'm so excited to talk to them because of that. Like, I didn't have to chase them. I didn't have to hope for the best, fingers crossed, or the convincing. I have that every so often. Like, what's this going to be about? Like, they didn't have any of those comeback questions. They were just, yep, I'm in. I'm game. And I'm so excited for everyone with the book club because these are some of the most well-received books. I mean, we hadn't read V.M. Burns yet, or Valerie Burns, so I hadn't reached out to her because I didn't know we were going to love this book to this degree. So maybe in the future, I'll do something with her, or I'll reach out to her and hope for the best. She'll probably be lovely though, based on her books. But yeah, you guys really seem to have enjoyed these books. Hence I reached out to them and they were so sweet. And hopefully you guys will like the conversation that ends up occurring. So you reminded me all because of Ellen Byron. See the tangents that I go down. I mean, the whole list. Marta's doing, we need to figure Marta out. She's joining us for 12 Days of Cozy. We haven't figured that out yet. I need to follow up with her. But there are a lot of authors who are joining. The list is online. It was so funny. I'll just give you a behind the scenes because you guys have been here all night, and so you deserve like some behind the scene knowledge facts. So Darcy Hannah, she's doing a Zoom discussion with Tracy Hall and Lynn Cahoon. Again, we've read both of these authors, loved their books, and I mentioned in the comments that one of her books was up for voting. Her book immediately got, I want to say, at least 10 votes. So because she's doing 12 Days of Cozies, participating, joining the cozy community, her book took the lead very quickly after that post. So I'm going, people are now intrigued by Darcy Hannah. So she's joining us doing this, and people are now voting for her book. So I don't know if it's going to win. I don't know if I just jinxed it. Maybe I shouldn't have told you guys that, but she's joining the Cozies, and now everyone's voting for her book. So this is, again, showing like the authors, when you mentioned being supportive, like if they do take part in the cozy community, like clearly people are going to be responding well to them and hopefully put the positive vibes back at them. So I'm kind of like secretly like, oh, okay, yay, Darcy Hannah. Also, they're all giving away Tracy Hall, Lynn Cahoon, and Darcy Hannah, they're all giving away paperbacks during that Zoom. So there are giveaways happening that I'm not even officially in charge of. Ellen's doing a giveaway during her live stream. So there are things happening. So if you want to win a cozy mystery, this is the event for you. And I'm sorry, I was missing all the comments because I was in the media section. But yay, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the book. I'm glad you guys are excited about this. Jay, was there anything else you wanted to add before we say goodnight for the 2023?
I mean, like, just thank you for having me. Like, I'm not like, Instagram famous or anything. Like, I definitely thought you were punking. When I got the message, that is so crazy. Like, looking back at the messages, I was like, I can't believe I thought I was getting punked. It wasn't like you were asking me for money. Like, hey, would you like to be a guest? If so, I need you to wire me $500. Like, so the fact that I was so goofy enough to think that I was being punked because, like, apparently that's something that people do. Like, okay.
For the record, I would never punk you, anyone else. No, that's not my style.
Again, not that I thought you would, but I think I just had a moment where I'm like, oh, she must have me confused with someone else. Like, and I'm thinking like, I wonder like who else has been commenting that she would confuse me with. Like, so I could be like, LOL, I think you've got the wrong J. It's actually such and such at, this Instagram handle. But no, I think it was weird a little bit today because I'm used to being like obviously like in the chats. But no, like I just love this community. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Like I've had a blast tonight.
That makes me so happy.
I thought I was gonna pass out from nerves, which is I don't know. I'm on a whole nother level, apparently. I don't know.
If you pass out, you might fall and break a beautiful nail. You can't pass out on me.
Oh, yeah.
These are my real nails. Not that there's anything wrong with press-ons or acrylics or anything, but like these are my natural nails. So I'd be really, really pissed if I broke a nail. So yeah, I can't pass out, you guys. So but I made it through. Look at me. An hour and a half later, still standing.
Well,
so yeah.
I feel like you just pointed. So Jay has been a dedicated book club member, and I had been wanting to reach out to her for a little while. And I actually have to work up the courage to reach out to certain. Like I have to kind of pluck it up because I don't know what. I mean, I've had people say no, or people be like, I don't want to be on camera. So I always have to like think things through, be prepared for whatever's going to come my way, question wise, response wise, and this. I always love her comments. And again, even if I don't give you guys a shout out during the night, I will go read them after the fact. And you've had so many comments after the fact when I'm going through and I'm going, I did not see this. I would have been losing my mind cracking up because she has great one-liners. You have great comedic timing. You're always so well prepared with the book, so well versed. You have your thoughts. I mean, I was so excited when you said yes. So I'm very appreciative of Marta and Jay doing this tonight. So I mean, I'm thanking you and everyone who's joined so far tonight. Like, and whether you watch this live on repeat, you listen to the audio, I'm just very appreciative of you taking part in the Cozy Mystery Book Club. I mean, I started this and the idea was in 2017. The first live stream was January 2018. I mean, even though I love cozies, Daisy's not going to talk back with me. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out to celebrate Cozy Mysteries with me. And thank you. Your comments are so sweet. I mean, I feel like we ended our live streams with like the best. Yeah. I mean, I will be honest, this was my favorite read of the year. It was. So I'm just saying that. So I feel like we're ending on like such a high note. You guys are so sweet. The comments have been so lovely. Like if we're going to end the season as we shall refer to it, like this is the best way to end it. So Jay and Marta, their information is down below. The 12 Days of Cozy's information, the voting link, everything is there. If you guys think of something after the fact, please feel free to send a message, DM, email. All the information is in the description box. It's also always across the platforms. So if something comes up, let me know. But I'm very appreciative of you guys, and thank you for doing this, and thank you for everyone in the comments. Please stay safe, kind, creative. I hope you can join 12 Days of Cozy's. If you can't, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and just take care of yourselves. And thank you, Marta. Thank you, Jay. And everyone in the comments, thank you for participating. You guys are just so sweet. And even if you didn't comment, thank you for watching and celebrating. And Marta has cats doing something.
I know. We've been on for a while, so they're starting to get restless.
Well, you got to go take care of the cats. And I have a dog somewhere who's hiding treats on me that I'm going to find 3 months from now. So all the fun stuff is happening. But thank you guys. And as always, happy reading, writing, and sleuthing. Bye, everyone.